Sleight of hand early on Friday. It's Friday, you can tell, guys.
Monday.
It's Monday. See, I've been off. I had clicked the wrong button. Yeah, let's go ahead. And we are live. Sbtalksports, Sean Webb, real takes over fake debates. It is Monday, Sean, and we are sponsored by Swift Energy. Use code RTOFD to get 20% off your order every time you order. Sean, how you doing on this Monday? You see, I'm all discombobulated right now, man.
Oh man, doing good, man. Long holiday weekend. Hope everybody's having a safe Memorial Day weekend out there. Whatever you're doing, just be safe and yeah.
So while you getting your place ready and you putting your grilling, turn us up on the TV, share it to a friend, listen to a good hour of sports talk with your boys on Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everybody, man. Salute Tiffany in the chat. Salute G Money in the chat. Happy birthday. And Tiffany hit it right on the head. And Sean, is something happened tragic in the sports world, so we have to talk about it. Man, this is sad, but RIP to the late great legend Bill Walton. He has passed from his fight with cancer. He passed at the age of 71. Bill Walton was known for being MVP, a two-time champion. One thing I always remember Bill Walton for, I meant to say it too when we talked backstage. When I was younger, what I remember Bill Walton was, remember he do like the training, the basketball training videos. I always remember them. I was like this when I was like young, hooping and trying to learn. Like my grandma or my coaches like used to have them videos, used to play it like that when I was like elementary school. So I remember Bill Walton for that. What is your fondest memory, and then also what you want to say about Bill Walton passing?
So obviously, rest in power to Bill Walton. One of the most unique lives, sports lives, but just lives in general. Had a crazy fervor for life. When obviously when you hear the news broke earlier when I was in a stream earlier when it broke, and it was super. Obviously, you don't always have time to kind of think about it. You kind of just share your initial thoughts, but then thinking about it, much later on and things like that. A couple things came to mind. Thinking about him. Number one, Bill Walton was a person of his time, and he was really, really big on activism. He was one, during the time when it wasn't popular for white athletes, especially, to get involved with activism. He was someone who did, and was unafraid to, speak his mind and to put, himself. He got arrested for protesting the Vietnam War. He was someone who was very, very open about speaking out about workers' rights, but also civil rights, and believed in using, his platform to share, just about those type of things. So that's probably the first thing. Probably the second thing I think is probably most interesting about him was, everybody knows about his injuries during his career, and him missing basically full seasons of his career. Well, kind of in the middle of that, he decided to go to law school. Went to Stanford Law, and again, kind of a real,
that's a smart take about it. Like, you never know how your basketball career go. That's what's up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I don't think he necessarily went to law school because he wanted to be an attorney. I think he went to law school because he was kind of one of those people who always had like a thirst for knowledge. He always wanted to know and learn more. And so even the people that talked about him today that had a chance to be around him, he was always he would share things, but he was always kind of in that space of always wanting to learn more and understand more. And then the third thing, which again is very interesting for me. So in 1993, Reebok decides to do a commercial for Shaq's rookie year. They got this brand new shoe. They're trying to, pump Shaq up, things like that. And this is the commercial. I know you're going to play it, but this is the commercial.
Right here. Super
Don't
90s
fake the
vibes.
funk on a nasty dunk.
ID? You're early.
But I'm ready.
Then prove it.
Wait. Did I catch it? I want to pause it right here. Boom. Oh, Sean, I want to pause it right here. Yeah, remember I told you earlier, people were, and I'm like, man, Bill Walton had just passed, and the first thing we doing is comparing them, who he graded, who this, and that. This is a commercial for Shaq. You said this was Shaq rookie year, right?
Yes.
The Shaq rookie year. They knew, look how Shaq played. He was going to be one of the best players ever, one of the best big men ever, probably one of the greatest. At that point in time, Shaq was on trajectory like, yeah, he's fit the bill. He's going to be one of the best big men ever. So if you ever was to doubt how great Bill Walton was, there go your answer right there. At that point in time, for sure, Bill, Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain was all known as the three greatest big men of all time. Who they got standing next to him? Bill Walton. So for all y'all saying all that crazy stuff, Bill Walton ain't this, Bill Walton ain't that, there go your answer right there. Why is Bill Walton in a commercial for Shaquille O'Neal, who's projected to be one of the greatest big men of all time? Man, he got nominated he got put in the top 50 early in his career. That's how good Shaq was. So, but that Bill Walton right there, Sean, right there. I ain't want to stop the commercial, but I had to pause it when right there. But
no, absolutely.
Answer right there.
No, absolutely.
Shaq got to break the rim.
That's not enough. Oh, this must be a rookie thing or something.
Yep. So, if you was wondering or had a thought of Bill Russell where you was like, where do he rank? Did he deserve to be not? That's after his career, injuries and all. He was next to the three greatest big men of all time at that point in time. Come on now.
Yeah.
The answer's in the commercial. You can't look. We can go through this future time frame and try to look at stuff now, but the facts are still there. The history is still there. It was a reason why Bill Walton was standing in that spot in that commercial. Bill Walton is very well respected.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you were like me, someone who, grew up, watching basketball, particularly in the late 90s and even going into the 2000s, Bill Walton and Steve Snapper Jones were the two. They shared a booth usually with Tom Hammond, and they were the two analysts with Tom Hammond who called a lot of the games. And Marv Albert as well was a part of that. It kind of alternated, but like his voice on basketball, and he covered the NBA really, like the first 10 years of his broadcasting career, and then kind of the first many years of his basketball or broadcaster career, and then moved on to college basketball, over the last probably 10 plus years or so. But very respected, and again, when you talk about Bill Walton, the basketball player, his game is not about the numbers necessarily, because the numbers aren't going to blow you off. He's one of those people you got to actually watch the tape of prime peak Bill Walton, and you see how good he was. And again, before Joker, and I would say before, some of these other guys, probably the best passing center the league had ever seen. Prior to some of these guys coming out. I think Joker obviously Joker probably surpassed him in terms of that reputation, but definitely just again one of the best players ever, top 50, top 75. Can't take that away from him. But definitely the biggest thing for me was that he led an interesting life. He had a zest for life. He was super unafraid to be himself. And to make fun of himself as well. And you think about, again, Bill Walton, it's Bill Walton, and it's kind of like Charles Barkley, like those guys who made that transition from playing to broadcasting and had great broadcast careers, Emmy-winning broadcast careers. Bill Walton is right there. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, with Bill, obviously he was a great player. But like I said, I remember when I was younger watching those training videos, and anytime I hear Bill Walton talk basketball, very, very knowledgeable guy, very, very knowledgeable. I think anytime you talk, you learn something basketball wise from Bill Walton. So RIP to the late great legend Bill Walton. Prayers to his family and everybody else.
Yeah, and I want to say real quick about him. It's probably not known too. I'm sorry, SB, I just thought of something. So everybody knows his son, Luke Walton.
Everybody knows Luke, yes.
Everybody knows Luke. I don't know if people know where Luke got his name from. Luke was actually named after one of Bill Walton's teammates, Maurice Lucas.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. That's dope. I didn't know that. Know that.
So that's how much respect he had for Maurice Lucas, how much he was a friend and a fan of Maurice Lucas, that Luke got his name from Maurice Lucas.
I did not know that. No, that's dope. I ain't gonna lie. That's shout out Bill Walton. I like Bill. Okay. All right. Now let's go into today's game. We gotta knock this out, but it's a game currently going on right now. We're gonna talk about them in a second. The score right now to the Boston Celtics. Oh, the game just started. It's 5-4. So 5-4. Come on, Patience, go ahead and get this W, because I kind of put my foot somewhere. Don't put myself in a bad situation. I was talking crazy. I ain't trying to, I ain't trying to make that bite me back. But in other news, the Mavericks take a stronghold of the series in the Western Conference Finals, going up 3-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves as they take Game 3. Kyrie Irving and Luka Dončić had outstanding games. So far, Sean, what can you tell me about this series and what you think about the play of Kyrie Irving, especially, and Luka Dončić?
I mean, those guys are playing excellent, and I think the excellence of their play is really being highlighted even more when the game's on the line. And and one thing I paid, I try to pay attention to a couple things, just that may not necessarily show up in the stat sheet, obviously, but late in the game, Luka gets the ball to Kyrie Irving. Kyrie brings the ball up and basically gets them into their offense. Luka 2 years ago would not have done that. And so the fact that they trust each other, they understand each other, they play off of each other, and again, particularly in those moments late in the game when it's closing time and it's time to put, as they used to say back in the day, put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner. They get ready and they handle business in that moment. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, just as a reminder that, this Minnesota team, this is their first time there. And, this is a part of the process. You don't generally just jump, into the playoffs and have some success and go right to the finals. Usually you kind of got to go through it and kind of got to understand, okay, here's how this round is. Here's how this round is. Dallas was there 2 years ago in the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors with Jason Kidd, with Luka. Obviously, the team's a little different now, but what you're seeing, I think, SB, is the maturation of both Jason Kidd and Luka as a player and understanding, more than maybe they did a couple years ago, how to play and how to handle this situation. And I think you're seeing it. So, shout out to them.
And you can tell they actually genuinely rock with each other. And then also, I don't hear a lot of people talking about the maturity of what Kyrie Irving has become. Like, he actually is that leader that he wanted to be in Boston now. And I think he's doing a fantastic job. And I think even Luka is learning a lot from Kyrie Irving too.
Yeah, and I think too, it's interesting that I think it's a little bit of both. Because if you watch Kyrie now, the pace he plays at, I think he always kind of played at his own pace. But now it seems like he's just more at peace with whatever pace he wants to play at.
Yeah.
And he understands how to, I think part because it's just maturity, but also part because Luka plays like this, they kind of understand they can get wherever they want on the court. And just understanding those moments when you have to do that as opposed to trying to do that for 48 minutes. And also I would say just personally for Kyrie, watching him, he just seems to be very much at peace with himself, and it just, and you can kind of see it kind of manifesting itself when he's talking to guys or when guys come say something to him, he's not smacking the lips or turning away or
no.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just the maturation of an incredibly talented player, but again, realizing I don't have to do everything. It's not all on me. I don't have to carry this. We are 1 through 15 strong, and we will figure out how to do this together. So that I think is probably one of the coolest things about what he's doing.
Also, I wanted to acknowledge the fact too that one, it's hard to be the team where you got two dudes who can close the door. That's one. But shout out to the Mavericks general manager who runs the things for the trades, and also Jason Kidd, because who in the hell, I ain't want to curse, but has had this kid been balling like that? But who in the heck knew that PJ Washington could ball like this? I think that was the biggest move for them during this season, because they wasn't gonna get him because this supposed to have been what's the guy from the Celtics, but he ended up being bad for the locker room. They traded him to the Charlotte. Grant Williams. Because what PJ Washington is doing is what they signed Grant Williams for. He literally came in and took his role. And actually is I think he probably doing a better job defensively too. And I also like the fact that he's actually playing like 3 through 5, and he really could and rotate. He really do like 3-4. But I want to shout out to say PJ Washington. I know Kyrie Irving and Luka get a lot of credit, and Gafford too. Gafford went there, and sometimes you just got to go around players who fit you better, and also with a coach that's gonna put you in a position to win. And I think Jason Kidd did that a lot.
And one thing I will say to that, I think Charlotte fans, shout out to Illis, always knew PJ Washington could play.
Yep.
And this is that reminder that situation matters. That you got to be in the right situation to really thrive and show who you are. And, not downplaying Charlotte or whatever, but Charlotte wasn't the best situation for possibly a young guy like that. No. Now he's in a more steady situation where he can just come in, play basketball, not worry about all that other stuff that comes with it. But also, one thing that's very telling about this Dallas team, SB, and I don't know if you watched the game last night, but
I did.
I've noticed Derek Lively, and one of the things that he does very well on the back end is his communication defensively. And guys are actually following his direction because he's seeing it. And as much as people praise like the KGs of the world who were excellent, defensive communicators and things like that, Derek Lively, as a rookie, guys are trusting what he's seeing, what he's saying, and reacting accordingly. And that's a big part of why I think their defense has taken that leap these last 3 months.
Sean, I'm gonna mention your head up. Guess with all the things being said that he's doing, think of this player. Who you think they got mentoring him?
Tyson Chandler, I'm guessing.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. And he's embodying everything that Tyson Chandler did for that team too when doing the Mavericks run. Because they literally, I think Jason Kidd talked to him. He's like, even though I know y'all look, I think Tyson Chandler was like, even though y'all like light skin look alike and y'all kind of built the same, he was like, no, he would benefit way more from being with you and learning how he can unlock his game more. And I was like, that was a match made in heaven for a mentor for him. So it was like, it fit perfect for him.
Yeah, SB, I have to say before we move on that, given my heatness, I have completely deleted that portion of Mavs history from my history. So I don't remember any of that.
Man, you just had to be there, man. You just missed out that time loop. You had to be
what
there.
Mavs team? I don't remember that. I've deleted that from my history. So yeah,
I all blame. Oh, I ain't even mad at that. But obviously, Kyrie Irving and Luka dominant game. Kyrie Irving had a huge game. Then they got to the point of, and also I want to talk about another player too in a second because this media game flip-flop so much. Whatever's the hottest thing during that day, I can even say, I'm going to use the big name, for example. Stephen A. 1 week he'll say this, the next week could be the totally opposite, like he didn't say that the same day yesterday. And now we get into it again. People are saying that Luka and Kyrie Irving might be the best backcourt ever. Then Draymond Green added more fuel to the fire by saying that no, Steph and Clay is the greatest backcourt ever. What do you think about this even being a conversation? Is it just hype because of the media there? How do you feel about them being in that conversation as the best backcourt?
So two things, SB. One, I'm not a fan of the conversation, part because they're still playing together and they still are building a resume together. Mm-hmm. Certainly, I understand it from a skill set perspective. They are two very incredibly skilled guys, two of the most skilled guys we've ever seen in the NBA. But in terms of their history together as a backcourt, they're still building that.
Yes.
And so I don't ever want to take away from those backcourts that played together for quite a long time and have a resume and built some success together. I think we really got to just kind of let it play out and let's see, where things end up. But, ultimately, I think, these guys are incredibly skilled. I understand the excitement of talking about it because that's what the media narrative is. But I'm more of a fan of let's, let them continue to build their resume together. And then when they're done or close to being done, then let's, see, how it compares to those other all-time great backcourts.
And I appreciate your honesty, Sean, but I'm still going to put you on the spot.
Oh,
so
God.
We going, would you rather Kyrie Irving, Luka edition backcourt? Obviously, Draymond Green started the conversation with saying Steph and Clay the best. And also, I'm going to be fair to them because they're in a new era. I'm not going to go back into the 60s, no three-point line. We're going to keep it a little bit close. I'm going to go back there a little bit, but not too far. But let's do it. Would you rather Kyrie Irving, Luka edition, Steph and Klay Thompson?
Oh, man. Yeah, you're already starting out. Are we just talking pure skill?
It's just who would you rather have? What do you think? Who would you rather?
I mean, right now, I'd have to say Steph and Klay.
Steph and Klay.
Yeah, they have the history. They had a resume together. I hate this game.
I know. I got to put you on the spot, though. Would you rather Chris Paul or James Harden? And James Harden.
This backcourt, Kyrie and Luka.
Kyrie and Luka. Okay. Would you rather Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili?
Again, with them, I give them the edge because of their resume, and they did it. They were together for 15 years, so I'll probably give them give them 15, 16 years, I probably give them the edge. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather? I'm trying to see where the girlfriend trying to get you. Would you rather Zeke and Joe Dumars or Luka and Kyrie? Mm-hmm.
So to be clear, Zeke and Joe Dumars only were together for like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Both Finals MVPs, both obviously Hall of Famers, multiple time All Stars. I have them as the third greatest backcourt ever.
Okay.
So I would go with Zeke and Joe Dumars just because again they have the resume together.
Okay. These next two ones probably ain't gonna be as fair, but I'm gonna just throw them in there. Would you rather Kyrie Irving and Luka or Kobe and Derek Fisher?
Oh, Kyrie and Luka. Yeah, that's easy.
Okay. Would you rather Kyrie Irving and Luka or Michael Jordan and Ron Harper?
This version of Kyrie and Luka.
Okay.
Because that version of Ron Harper was still really solid. But
Prime Ron Harper with that.
Yeah, but Prime Ron Harper never ends up in the backcourt with Michael Jordan. All right. That's post knee injury Ron Harper. Still very solid, but Prime Ron Harper was really, really good. But together with Michael Jordan, he wasn't the same guy.
You want to say, yeah. All right, that's it for the would you rather. I ain't gonna go too deep.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna go too deep on it. All right, now last one. Magic Johnson. I'm playing. I'm playing. But obviously, when I was bringing up the conversation about how the media salute Phil, Rap Guy got a question real quick. Where do you guys rank Steph and Clay as an all-time backcourt?
I have them top 2 all time.
Top two. Thank you. I got them top 2, top 3. Thank you. Dinner time 2. Yeah, I got them top. I got them top 2, top 3 for sure. Top 2, top 3 for sure. Yeah. But also the other thing I wanted to bring up on Sean was about you see how the media is giving Kyrie Irving and Luka, especially Kyrie Irving, because but just years ago other than that, everybody said he wanted to retire, do all that extra stuff. They did that to Kyrie. I could have just sworn last series Ant-Man was the next Michael Jordan. Now everybody say he's too young. He a choke artist. He ain't who he thought he was. He phony. Why is the media flipping now? What's going on, Sean?
Maybe this is the nature of media and
today's media.
Today's media is just the nature of today's media is, I'm even hard pressed to even call it media, honestly, SB. But it's the coverage that we get today. It's not journalism. It's media.
And they love you today, divorce you tomorrow.
Yeah. So there's a line from a movie. I think it's King of New York, and the guy said, "Would you rather be feared or respected, or feared or loved?" And I think he said he'd rather be feared because it lasts longer.
Yeah.
I think in sports, would you rather be loved or respected? I think you'd rather be respected because it lasts longer.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's and Ant-Man's still building up his stuff, so he gonna be the point because he was like, he's gonna be the face of the league. Because obviously, which I don't understand this. So I got a question about this too. Now thinking about it, why is the NBA so pressed to not allow an international player to be a face of the league? They just want to be American-born guy to be the face of the league. Why do you think that, Sean? Can an international guy even be the face of the league, or just like a no for you?
So I don't want to say an international guy can't be the face of the league. I don't think it's that so much. I think what it is, SB, is the media that covers the NBA is largely an American media. Mm-hmm. And the NBA is largely based in the United States. Obviously, you have a team in Canada, but largely based in the United States. Wow. So I don't think it's crazy that you want the face of the game or the face of the league to be an American-born player or an American rivalry, a la Magic and Bird. But I think with the league being 25% foreign-born players and trending to where probably by 2030, 2035 it's going to be 40%. I think it's going to be less about where you're from as opposed to do you connect with the audience at large.
Right.
And I think that's why people are excited about Wemby.
Yes.
And things like that. So I think that's where it's trending. So I don't know if it's so much you got to be American born. I just think it's about your ability to connect with the audience. You have the personality and things like that. The biggest criticism of Joker is he doesn't have a great personality in terms of like talking and media. But if you watched him the last couple of years, he's kind of opened up a little bit. He does joke a little bit more.
And that's how we know he don't like basketball. It's his job. I go home. I go home to my horses.
Go to my horses. But he even joked about his all-time great. I think he talked about him as an all-time great athleticism or something like that. Very tongue-in-cheek. So it's like I think it's one of those things where it's like you just got to be able to connect with the audience at large more than anything.
Yeah. Only thing I just hate on it is just like it's cool to stick with a side of opinion. I still believe that Ant-Man will be the face of the league. He got 22, bro. He ain't even Ant-Man. Like y'all think Ant-Man good now, and how his mindset is, and how I think his work ethic is, and how he gonna work on this game. I don't even think he half of the player that he's gonna be now, and that's what's scary about Ant-Man is like he not even close to what he really can be, and I think he gonna be 2 times, maybe 4 times better than what he is right now. But I just didn't like how the media just completely flip-flopped on him. Now he went from Jordan to no Air Jordan. That's the only thing I didn't like. Like it's easy to say like you can acknowledge the fact of that he having a bad series compared to the other series, but he having a slight series, and the Mavericks are just outplaying them as a team, everybody, even Rudy Gobert getting cooked. Cat is shooting terrible, so it's like. The defense not even hitting the same as they was. It's a lot of things that come to players and not just
and I would say this as just as a reminder. There was a guy a few years ago went on a crazy run in a playoff series against the defending Eastern Conference champs. If I remember, I think he scored 25 in the fourth quarter in overtime, and then the next game they close out and get to the finals.
You talking about LeBron, right?
I think that was his name. I think his name was LeBron.
Okay, LeBron. Okay. LeBron. That was killer, bro. That was killer instinct, bro, too.
Yeah. He remember how old he was?
I think he was like 22, 23.
He was 22 when he did that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think sometimes it's just a matter of guys can show you flashes, they can show you moments. But at 22, you're not a finished product.
No.
Because, again, we know what happened the next series with LeBron and the Cavs. And, and even Tim Duncan, told him after the series, he's like, one day this league is going to be yours, but thank you for letting us get this one. So it's the same with Ant that, one day it's going to be his as long as he continues to put in the work, as long as he surrounds himself, with the right people and he's in the right organization to, do that. Cause it's a lot that comes with, being that guy. But this is the process and this is what it's always, generally been. Magic and what Magic did is very rare. What Bird did is very rare. What Kareem did in his second year is very rare. Normally, what Bill Russell did early in his career is very rare. It's, it normally is, you got to go through some stuff for a few years before you get to that place and that point. And so I'm not counting them out. This team is going to be, back right there in the conversation. West next season is going to be a gauntlet. And, I know we're going to talk about this probably more in the off season, but I got a belief, man. I don't know if you don't win 50 games next year, I don't think you're guaranteed to be a playoff team in the West.
You think we're going back to the early 2000 vibes in the West? 50 wins?
I think it's getting tight. It's getting real tight.
It's getting tight. Hey,
it's getting tight.
I like the sound of that. I ain't gonna like. I'm cool with the 50. Hey, the 50 win West. You had 50 wins as an eighth seed. That's crazy.
Yeah,
eighth seed. I'm down with that. I'm with that. But it's always two sides to the story. Sorry, Sean. We gotta talk about the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, of course.
I'm having a clip of the video that I have for a reason because I think I wrote a check, Sean, that my behind can't cash. So I said, because I was getting mad at everybody saying that the Celtics got this so easy road and everybody just counting the Pacers out. I still have the Celtics winning the series. So I said, if the Pacers get swept, I would do push-ups the whole stream. For the yeah.
Well, you said 100. Did you say 100? I thought you put a number.
I said 100 at first, then I doubled down and said I was like, you know what? Forget 100. I'll do it the whole stream.
Okay, all right. Because I'm gonna say if you said 100, I would help you on half of those.
Yeah,
but if you just unlimited, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's unlimited. I might have to just, you know what I'm saying. I just have to I'm gonna just time myself an hour for push-ups and just have it at the bottom of the screen while we doing the show because it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. But is the Pacers getting swept? Am I doomed right now?
I mean, I'll say this just as a reminder: games 1 and games 3 could have gone either way.
They should have won one of them games.
Yeah, and quite possibly could have won 2 of those games. They didn't. That's the reality. So they're down 3-0. They're playing pretty well right now. They're in the game. The Celtics were in the same situation last year on the reverse end where they were down 3-0. And came back and pushed it to 7 games. And had the 7th game at home. So I don't, my rule very simply is because I don't call a series till the series is actually over. Again, because it's basketball and anything can happen. I didn't think I would ever see somebody come back from down 3-1, and we've seen it multiple times. There was times where you didn't think an 8 seed could be the 1 seed. We've seen it multiple times. We didn't think 8 seeds could get to the finals. We've seen that a couple times. We've seen now playing teams get to the finals. So, it's one of those situations where I think, I don't count anybody out. At the end of the day, it's basketball, and let's just see what happens. But the Pacers are fighting. They're not going to give it to the Celtics. And any NBA player worth their weight in salt will tell you that the toughest games in the playoffs are where you're trying to close a team out.
They don't want to give in. And then I played a part in it too, because I'm like, the Pacers got to the Eastern Conference for a reason. No matter if y'all want to say injuries or not, they've been a great team. They even made it to the play-in, not the play in the in-season tournament finals, and they was busting a lot of people butt. But I also was standing on the factor that they was undefeated at home during this whole stretch. So I was like, I know for sure they're going to at least get one at home or win both games at home. So that's what I was defending on the fact that like they've been playing excellent at home. Because I had the Celtics in 6.
Yes,
I had the Celtics in 6, but I guess not, man. So Pacers lock in. What's the score right now again?
I believe it's I think the Celtics are about 4. It's a commercial right now, but
29-27, Celtics up by 2.
Okay, they're about 2.
And I think Tyrese Halliburton is playing, right? Let me check.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's out too? Dang, yeah. That's tough. And the Celtics are messing around and give a game away because they'll take their foot off the gas. They good for that. On to the next one. Okay, so LeBron James has decided to be a free agent, Sean. And pretty much at the age of 40, I know everyone want to give him 40. He's pretty much 40.
Right.
And they was pretty much saying LeBron James was the top free agent at 40. Is LeBron James the top free agent right now? I'm going through the list. I picked up the article. I'm just doing the notable names. Even though I'm just saying, but I know the Phillies going to sign him back. But you got like Tyrese Maxey. You got Paul George. Pascal Siakam, which I think he's going to resign. DeMar DeRozan, James Harden, OG Anunoby, Miles Bridges, Malik Monk, Tobias Harris, trash. But yeah, who you is LeBron the best free agent available at the age of 40, Sean?
Jeez. Yeah, I guess by default. Yeah, I would guess.
So you think LeBron better than Paul George right now?
So let me ask you a question, SB. When you say best, are you saying that there's nobody, if you had money and you want to sign a free agent, LeBron James would be your choice? Because I don't think that's true for a lot of teams.
Yeah. Yeah, if you say like if I had to sign Paul George right now with LeBron at 40, I don't know.
Yeah.
You might.
Or James Harden. Or
or
say Siakam, who's going to be a free agent.
That's crazy that it's a conversation though, and I think it's more of a
crazy. It's a testament to how well he played last season, and obviously, how much he has, potentially left in the tank. Again, I think when you sign free agents,
Sean, the real question is: does it say it's more about LeBron, or does it say more about like the Paul George and James? How about they say more about them, like that they not even on that level enough? That like you rather have a 40-year-old player than like the end of his prime Paul George.
I think what it says, SB, ultimately is that most of the guys who could have been free agents in this class either are re-signed or extended their contracts. So that's what it says. There's some years where you have these stacked free agent classes. This is not a stacked free agent class. It's not 2010. This isn't 2016. This isn't 1996. So there are years where it's like that. It's not like that every year. That this is just one of those years where it's not a stacked free agent class. But if you're a team that feels like you're one guy away, that one guy might be out there if you have the assets to get him, which again most teams I don't think do.
One guy gonna be LeBron, which is crazy.
And
actually, re-looking at it, but he might actually. That's crazy to say. He is the best free agent available.
Yeah, and again, I don't think teams rank it in that way. I think teams rank it based on their need.
Yeah.
So it's not. So I always try to think about it from that perspective. Is we understand LeBron's career, what he's done in his career, but is the LeBron the need that teams have? And I would say most teams would not probably have him high based on their needs. But again, like LA needs to keep LeBron.
Right. LA needs to keep LeBron. They have no choice.
So and he understands his leverage and his ability to leverage his his star power and what he brings to a franchise when he inadvertently goes to that franchise. So I think we'll see what happens, but I think there'll be other guys that teams will go after because they realistically believe they have a chance to get before LeBron James. So let me clarify that.
Yeah, because I don't think LeBron going to three places. It's either LA, Cleveland, or maybe the Knicks. That's it. That's all the three places I see him going.
Yeah,
I don't see him going nowhere else. Sean, your favorite coach is back at it again. Coach Cal, but you call him Recruiter Cal.
Yes.
Gets a recruit and got DJ Wagner from Kentucky, his guard.
Yes.
From to Arkansas.
Yes.
So I don't even try to be like, oh, he take everybody. Now look, is he gonna turn Arkansas to the new Kentucky? Since he's such a great recruiter.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
Because it's Arkansas.
He got people to come to Kentucky.
He got people to come to Kentucky, and what do you do with Kentucky?
He got one.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, Tyler Hero, Anthony Davis.
All the talent you name it off, he got one.
John Wall.
All the talent you name it off, he got one.
I don't think he got to win at Arkansas. I think he needs to win one for himself. But for Arkansas, I think Arkansas just wants the 5-star recruits to their program.
I think Arkansas wanted the name.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. They wanted the name.
Yeah.
And I think Kentucky, quiet as kept, was done. They were like, yeah, we're moving on.
We're gonna try to actually win. But good.
Yeah, I think, and again, because the question isn't, we know his ability as a recruiter. The question has always been his ability to build a program and his ability to coach.
Mm-hmm.
And now with, again, NIL, with the lawsuit that we just talked about on Friday, what resources are they going to put into the program? Because Arkansas is, for all intents and purposes, wants to be a great football school too. Will they have enough resources to put it into both to make them a viable school for athletes regardless?
Yeah, that I'm 50-50 on. That I'm 50-50. And he gonna get the 5 stars to cover that. I think it's gonna be 5-star city. He gonna buff them up like he did Kentucky.
Yeah, and outside of Bill Clinton, that's the only Arkansas fan I know. So yeah, don't care.
It's gonna be a lot of new Arkansas fans down there, Sean.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yep. Last story of the day, Sean. Oh man, this hurts my soul, man, because sometimes you do things and you get new people, and we can be so close to getting what you want. So the Vikings allegedly wanted to trade into the top 5 of the draft, Sean.
Yes.
And not to get a quarterback, shockingly enough. They wanted Malik Nabers, the wide receiver. And I was like, okay, that'd be a nice duo with him and Justin Jefferson. But no, Sean. They was willing and was going to trade Justin Jefferson to actually make this happen. Hold on, I'm going to pull the article up so I can read it exactly verbatim. Now, we can, everything is rumors, and everything ain't gonna be 100% true,
right?
But because when people report, because they don't want to leave bad taste in their player's mouth. He said, and the article states, it is no surprise that the Vikings tried to move into the top 5 during the draft last month, but Minnesota reportedly wasn't targeting a quarterback as many expected. The Vikings, who were linked to several quarterback prospects, PJ, actually wanted to move up to draft LSU receiver Malik Nabers in a move that would have resulted in Minnesota trading all-pro wideout Justin Jefferson, according to Charlie Walters of the Pioneer Press. The Vikings tried to acquire the number 5 pick for the Los Angeles Chargers to land Nabers just ahead of the New York Giants. The Chargers ultimately kept the pick and chose offensive lineman Joe O. Now, as a Chargers fan, if I knew we had money, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed the hell off because we got no receivers. You got a chance to get the best receiver in the draft and put him with Justin Herbert. Sean, holy. Justin Jefferson with Justin Herbert would have been crazy. But we don't have no money. So we had to take the pick. Because I think did Justin Jefferson just sign a contract, or his contract is supposed to be up, right?
No, he hasn't signed anything. He's holding out. OTAs right now.
See, so what's the point of trading for Justin Jefferson? We don't want to be able to give him the money that he gonna want. He know he's the best wide receiver in the league. We're gonna have to do a lot of furniture moving.
Yeah, and I think that's the part of it, right? Is that when you trade for a guy who's wants a new deal, you're not giving up a lot of assets to get a guy unless you know for a fact that based on conversations with their representatives that you can get a deal done. It's just too much of a risk to do that. And Justin Jefferson wants a new contract, and we've seen guys in his draft class get new contracts. When we've seen guys after their draft class get contracts. Shout out to Devontae Smith. So this is the nature of the business, and I don't think Minnesota wants to trade Justin Jefferson. I think they ultimately wasn't not that they want to pay him. It's just they have a set rate where they think he belongs. His representative has a rate where they belong, and there's always a gap. And what does it take to close the gap? Well, it takes both sides coming together to figure out how to close the gap. And so that's the nature of it. And again, if you're one of those teams that has a receiver who's due a new contract, when you look at the monies that have gone out, AJ Brown now is the highest paid receiver in the league. His new extension is worth $32 million a season.
Yep.
So
I mean, Jefferson got to get 40.
Well, it's not going to be 40, but I mean, it's probably going to be in that 34, 35 range. Again, presuming that Chase doesn't get a deal done, that CeeDee Lamb doesn't get a deal done, because once those deals get done, yesterday's price ain't today's price. That's the way it works.
That's I'm trying to tell you, Sean. He gonna get 40.
He might. Hey, listen.
I think so.
And the longer he holds out, maybe he will. We might. I think we're getting ready to see SB two things. We're getting to see our first $60 million quarterback.
Yep.
And we are going to see very soon, maybe not this offseason, maybe next offseason, a close to $40 million receiver. May not be right at 40, but it's going to be very, very close.
Do you think we're going to see another fully guaranteed contract again?
Ooh.
That's the combo right there.
I think it depends on the length. I think it was a shorter contract. So, like, when Kirk Cousins was getting those fully guaranteed contracts, those are like 3-year deals.
Yeah.
I don't
think it was like 1 or 2. I thought it was like a 2 without, like a 1 or 2.
So remember, he was franchised several times by the Commanders. So that fully guaranteed that season for him. But then when he went to the Vikings, the 2 deals he signed with the Vikings, I think the first one was like a 3-year, $87 million deal. That one was fully guaranteed. And then the extension he signed on top of that was also fully guaranteed, or at least mostly guaranteed. Okay. So it's just, it's all about the length. And again, a lot of times with these deals, it's how big a check is the owner willing to write to give a guy up front and to guarantee them. And also, what is the ultimate structure of the deal that determines the cap hit? Because oftentimes it's not cash, it's the cap hit.
Cap hit, yeah. The cap hit matters. Yeah. It is, man. Episode 78, Sean. You got something for 78?
Oh yeah, of course. Who
you got? Let me look.
I got a couple. Yeah, I got the 2 best left tackles of all time: Anthony Munoz from the Cincinnati Bengals, Hall of Famer, and Jackie Slater from the Rams, whose son Matthew Slater played, for many years for the Patriots and just retired. So, and then Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith. Yeah, I can't wait till we get in the 80s.
Yeah, also Art Shell.
Good.
Art Shell wore 78 as well. Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to the
80s.
The 80s, yeah, the 80s gonna be fun because that's
fun. Yeah, that's wide receivers and tight ends, and yeah.
I'm trying to see if any. What about NBA players? I don't think no NBA player were 78.
Not intentionally.
Yeah, not intentionally. Best NBA. Nope. Let me see. Best NBA player by jersey. Now I want to look. Atumbo numbers greater than 50. No player ever has what a number 78 in the NBA. Wow. Now we learned something new. Appreciate you guys watching through all the streaming sites. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe. And me and Sean will see you guys on Friday. Peace out, guys. Peace out.